This is Christopher Jon Bjerknes. It is September 7th, 2025, coming up on September 11th, 9/11. I'm going to be explaining why it is that Donald Trump changed the name of the Department of Defense to Department of War. Department of War represents Mars, the planet Mars, the god of war, the fifth emanation on the Sephirotic tree of life, Din, Gevurah, severity, punishment, strength. Again, the god of war. In Kabbalah, it is Samael, the devil, who is the god of the planet Mars, the fifth Sephirah Din. Gevurah, the planet Mars, is the red planet. War is often spelled in red by Donald Trump in his propaganda. Red represents not only the red planet Mars, it represents Edom, which is literally the word red, but represents the race of white Europeans, emblemized by Roman Catholic Christians. It is a race slated to be exterminated by the enemy. Red is quite significant in Kabbalah. It represents blood. It represents the fifth Sephirah of the planet Mars, the red planet. The word Edom is the same as the name for man, Adam, Aleph, Dalet, Mem, which comes from Adama, meaning red clay, that Prometheus, Samael formed into man, but it has the additional letter Vav, which is also the number 6, but is a pictogram of the serpent, Samael. The serpent Samael infused his impurity into Eve to produce the seed line, the blood of Cain, which produced Esau, Edom, and Amalek, who are to be exterminated. Hence the word Edom or Edom, meaning red, meaning the people that has to be exterminated. Donald Trump is doing this as he is divvying up the world into the Eastern and Western, I apologize for my allergies, Eastern and Western hemispheres. The West represents the Leviathan, the behemoth. You can see it in this picture of him. The world will soon understand nothing can stop what is coming, depicts the Western hemisphere, west of the Garden of Eden. And he is trading the Western hemisphere, trading off the whites of Europe, the whites of Australia, the whites in Africa, to the behemoth of the Eurasianists, the communists, the Muslims. The white Europeans are going to be eradicated by mass immigration from Eurasia, from the Asians, from the Africans, and from the Middle Easterners. And the whites in America and Canada are slated to be eliminated by the Latin Americans. It's very significant that the Latin Americans are Roman Catholics, representing the Edom of the West, the Leviathan of the West. Trump is making a pitch to take over all of North America. He said that he wants to annex Canada and Greenland. He is chasing after Mexico and now Venezuela. Venezuela is the gateway to all of South America. Trump was a staunch ally and is a staunch ally of Bolsonaro. Brazil is the largest Roman Catholic population in the world, although it's diminishing. It was until recently over 61%, representing over 100 million out of the 200 million Brazilians. It's the largest Roman Catholic country on earth. And we have Nick Fuentes pitching Catholic integralism, creating a theocracy out of the Western Hemisphere that Trump is trying to convert into a North, Central, and South American union as he gives up our allies in Japan, South Korea, Australia, and Europe. And we see that he is utilizing ICE to go after the South Koreans, which benefits North Korea. Donald Trump is a communist. He is helping Red China, Soviet Russia, and communist North Korea. He's using ICE on the pretext of deporting illegals to chase after Hyundai, which hurts South Korea and benefits North Korea. All the things that he's doing with ICE are a pretext, a premise that is false. What he's really doing is creating the infrastructure and the institutions ultimately to put whites into gulags and to bring all the Latin Americans up to replace whites. And what he's doing is helping to create the two sides of the battle of Gog and Magog, the end times war between Leviathan and Behemoth, East and West. And he is already slating the West to lose by allowing the Behemoth of the East to take over Africa, to take over Europe, to take over Australia, and to take over our allies, Taiwan, South Korea, and Japan. So this is all terrible treachery, and it is deeply embedded in Qabbalah. He's also gone after the Panama Canal as part of creating this Western, North, Central, and South American Union. And the Catholic Church is playing a big role in this. The Catholic Church opens the doors for illegal immigration, provides them with resources when they jump the border, gets them homes, acts politically to try to subvert the Congress and the presidency of the United States, to grant amnesty to all the illegals. And Nick Fuentes plays a role in this. I'm going to get to all of this. I'm going to explain how this relates to the Pentagon, meaning 5 angles, the Pentagram, meaning 5 lines, relating to the 5th emanation, the 5th planet Mars, the god of war, the red planet of Edom, how it relates to the Africans as Satanists becoming increasingly Catholic, the Africans bearing the supposed mark of Cain as their black skin, and a whole lot of other good stuff. And if you want to see all the receipts and all the proof of what I have just laid out before you, I have been tweeting some of it over the past week. I'm going to get into Q+, how it represents Qabbalah of the cross, and how it represents Trump himself as the Messiah of Qabbalah, meaning the Messiah, son of Joseph, the Messiah of Edom, the reincarnation of Jesus Christ as Jesus Antichrist, to wage war in the battle of Gog and Magog and subvert the West and ensure that the West loses and that all white people, all Edomites, all Roman Amalekites are completely exterminated. I suspect they want to wrap this up by the year 2030. So we are all in terrible danger, imminent peril. And it is very important for you to understand this. So please get a paid subscription at my Substack account, CJBbooks.substack.com. Again, I apologize for my allergies. And you'll not only be able to see this full presentation, which is vitally important, but the full presentations of all of my works, which are posted on CJBbooks.substack.com. Please also visit my website, CJBbooks.com, where you can find my books on these subjects. I highly recommend you read my book, Beware the World to Come. It is about all of this and how this is unfolding. And you don't want to miss what I'm going to explain today about Trump renaming the Department of Defense as the Department of War, and what is really going on with his aggression against Venezuela, how Mexico has been taken over by a communist Jew, Scheinbaum, how Venezuela was handed over from the communist Chavez eventually to the communist Sephardic crypto Jew, Maduro, how Argentina is led by the Chabadnik crypto-communist libertarian Malay. So without further ado, thank you so much for listening to this point. If you want to see the rest, again, jump over to CJBbooks.substack.com. And I'm now going to transfer over to my Substack viewers.